What's going on, y'all? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. Haven't done one of these in the wild. I wanted to do a thing. Didn't really know where to put it. So it seemed the most logical to put it in the Inner C2 Electric Boogaloo. Oh god, I hate that I named that video series that. Anyway, Nantambu, the city built around the Magambia, the city you adventure in the strength of thousands adventure path. Let's talk about it. If you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, ding the bell. Stay caught up on all your stuff. Remember, Patreon is the #1 way to support the channel if you're digging what you're seeing and can help us do cooler, bigger, better, brighter things. For now, let's dive in. Okay, so Nantambu itself, a city of just over 15,000 people, sits at a bend in the Vanji River and sits around that most prestigious of all the magic schools on Galarian, the Magambia. Being a city that sits next to one of these very prestigious schools, you know, it has some benefits. One of those being Nantambu doesn't have to field an army. You know, what with having a bunch of very magical people at the very heart of your city, turns out that's a pretty darn good way to protect something. Literally, Nantambu has not had a hostile army within 20 miles of it. Couple that with the diplomatic relations that Nantambu has with its neighbors, and you have a very, very idyllic place to live. And given the ethos of the Magambia itself being like part of the culture, Nantambu's culture is built on community. Even the most poor person who lives here has access to food, water, and a place to sleep. The most bougie of restaurants regularly set aside tables for charity, sponsor public festivals, things of that nature. Nobody has to worry about starving. Nobody has to worry about sleeping on the streets, and thus, Nantambu is a city of craftsmen, because people who live here can take risks. People who live here can have that time to work on the things that they love, not necessarily just do the things they have to do to survive. My kind of city, if I'm honest. Nantambu itself is ruled by 11 magistrate mayors, much like Jitembe. It is 10 magic warriors. And of course it takes a bunch of cues from Jitembe, because Jitembe literally helped build up this once upon a time little tiny village. And of course existence here is very magical. This is a city where like refrigeration is very common. The roads are kept clean by people cantripping at them. And since the city has its public works in order, again, nobody's got to worry about having to have a job to put food on the table here, because you'll have your basics covered. These public works are regularly funded also because, again, you don't have to spend a lot of money on the military when there are a lot of people in the center of town who, you know, just really want this wonderful place to keep existing. It's a really cool place, a place you could dive in really hard. Every district telling its own story, the smell of very unique food, everything from leafy greens to grilled fish to, you have to assume stuff from all over the world as well, because people are coming from all over the world to learn to be better casters here. It's a very idyllic place, a place you see a lot in the Strength of Thousands adventure path, because, you know, you're literally going to school in this city. The first part of going to that school is the prerequisite, the community service aspects, which basically dump you right back out in Nantambu to, well, that would be Strength of Thousands spoilers. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comments. As always, my friends, we'll see you next time.